They don't really care about us. Ow! All I'm really saying is that they don't really care about us. I shouldn't even sing it too much because I'm so on key right now that we could be copyrighted. But all I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Ow!
It's the voice of an angel.
Thumbs up, dude. You look blind in those glasses. You got to give them the there you go. You're
I'll say
walking,
something.
bro.
I'll say something. Oh, say something about my mustache again, you little creep.
I said you look like a goddamn pervert dancing a
I'm not going to say nothing.
Iron Man's mustache.
Well, I'm going to tell you something.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And I'm going to tell you something. I am.
Explains
That's
the
not-
wood paneling. It explains a lot.
Hold on, buddy. I'm going to tell you something. Whoever said that's a bad thing, I didn't say like, oh, I'm a whatever, a degenerate, or that, you know, that's a compliment. That could be a compliment. I'm eating a clementine.
You would.
Nice and healthy.
I just had a steak too. Steak and a
Me too.
clementine.
I didn't eat
too.
yet. My family already ate.
Shut up.
I
Kev.
reheated some mac and cheese.
Say hi. Oh,
There's a
Oh,
seeing eye, there's a seeing eye dog right there.
Here, Andrew, I learned this trick. Take a piece of ham and roll it up, right?
oh, buddy. You didn't
So
hear
what's
that.
what's the end of the story with the dog? Have we made it to the end? Have we crossed the
alive
Rainbow
right now.
Bridge?
No, he's alive. He pisses everywhere, all over.
Yes.
He like
Oh,
spray
God,
paints
please,
his
don't do
name
this
in my
again.
driveway every day. He's alive. He's pissing and shit.
I felt, oh God. The last time I was like, you know, the things that we said, you know, it's like, it'll be sad, really sad when the animal passes. But then you say things like that and you make me want to say those things again.
That's fine, guys. The dog's pissing. Like, what did I say that's wrong? He's alive.
All over your house?
He's wearing a diaper, Bill.
He's got the diaper on in the house. When he gets the diaper off outside, it's just like this, all over the driveway.
What's
What is
that?
all over? What is that?
It's a little wiener.
Deadhead, birthday, skinny head, birthday, none of them care about us. Ow!
Oh, this went off the rails in a hurry.
Already.
No. We're good. I mean, a Clementine. We're just chilling. I wanted to keep it smaller because originally we weren't going to do a show, and then I said, you know what? Let's get a little smaller group. And Cody was I'll tell you the original plan was have us all the original guys. I sent Scuba a thing too. I know Tuesdays we haven't really done so. And I was like, oh, we're gonna get into, you know, just a little bit of chit chat, a little bit of bullshit, and talk about how we first got into the outdoors or got into fishing and all that stuff. I said it'd be a little fun little episode, and then I wanted to reunite the Nasty Boys, Big Nasty, and Cody Lockwood, which is not his real name, but you know, and I thought that'd be a good episode to hear. Big Nasty's always spitting some wisdom. He'll be sure to get us kicked off of YouTube, but in true Big Nasty fashion, I haven't heard from him in a couple of days. He hasn't responded to text or anything. So, oh, good. I sent Cody the link. I'm not sure if Cody's jumping on, but I thought it's a good little, keep it small. It's hard if you get 10 people on here talking about their origins. So, yeah, you want to chill the fuck out with that dog, dude, or what?
Golly.
Little
We're
Michael
going to be doing
Jackson.
somersaults again.
I was. That was close.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Anyway, I thought with too many people on here, it'll be impossible to start talking about how you got into it and all that. And we probably all touched upon it a little bit. But I thought we'll just have a little relaxing night, talk a little junk, and kind of talk about how we got into the outdoors. Because obviously,
You brought up Nasty. Ken, did you go snowmobiling with him?
No. He had happened to go separately, and his friends didn't berate him for putting it online. But
oh my god,
he
Oh
went
my
separately.
God,
I saw
here
that
we
one.
go.
He went with another kid that we grew up with and went to elementary school with.
You weren't invited?
I was already
Kids-
up there.
kid's got an audience. He's going to start attacking us. You know what I mean, Drew?
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Over here.
We didn't attack him. We didn't attack him for his snowmobile video. We gave him a little taste of his own medicine. That's all I'll say.
That's it.
It's good.
Drew, actually, I shouldn't even say me. I did it.
Here we go. The missiles are aimed at you now, Drew.
No. I agree with Andrew because of what he said. I thought it was funny, but it wasn't me. It spearheaded this. I just liked it.
You saw like like somebody threw a cigarette on the ground, and then you came with a gallon of gasoline and just dumped it on it. Like really true fashion.
He smoked it first, though. He smoked it first.
Oh, God bless. Inshallah. I wish I could. Inshallah. No, one day.
One day
I'll go back to smoking.
No, you won't.
I probably will when the family leaves me. When they all finally get the hell out of here and walk out of my life, which I'm sure will happen eventually.
When they wisen up and get the hell out of there.
Yeah. I mean, every once in a while, I'll be like, we get into a little bit of a minor argument or something. I'm like, if you want to leave, just leave. Because I'm just like, I'll start smoking cigarettes again.
Smoking cigarettes and listening to ICP. Sounds about right.
Well, every once in a while, I'll throw on an old ICP song. But that's neither here nor there. I can do that without smoking cigarettes. There's a song called Homies by ICP, and that one takes me back a little bit. But anyway. Okay. I was just going to say something.
No.
ICP, cigarettes, my wife leaving me.
I think you covered it.
Yeah, we pretty much covered it.
Yeah. Oh, no. No, I didn't cover it. And listen, has anyone noticed Rodney? I mean, look at the video, look at the audio. I mean,
Unbelievable.
Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Somebody noticed
this, but I just wanted to bring it up, make sure you guys were aware. He got a new computer because of cyberbullying from Andrew and Ken, and he got well, I think he had the microphone already, but anyway, he got a new setup.
How about his arms though? He's been working out, this guy.
I was tired of getting bullied by Joe fucking Brown and Scuba about my goddamn audio. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to drag my desktop back into my living room. I'm just going to go get a new laptop and bring my shit with me.
Hell yeah.
I had a good one with Joe Brown today. I said, he was talking shit to me. We were going back and forth in a group text. And I said, Joe, if you say one more thing to me, I'm going to clip the Hoodlum cast that you were on with every single thing that you purchased at that expo, and I'm going to put a price next to every single one, and I'm going to tag your wife in it. So, because I already did that whole thing before, and he goes, how much are you looking at? I said, so far I've started the editing, and you're up to about $1,800. And then he didn't say another word. And then it got worse. I did ask for if Jigs and Biggs had an HR department, and the response was a little wild. I'll let Bobby tell it another day. But we do want to do another episode coming up soon, a late night episode where we do a Jigs and Biggs and Bass and Brews mashup. Everybody is in for it. It's just a lot of working schedules, but that will be a blast.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Will that be the first time it's ever been done?
I don't know, but the problem is none of these people know how to act because I speak to them all separately. And I swear to God, everyone thinks like I'm the shit starter. Not one of these people is nice to me. And maybe Paul, believe it or not.
What about
Paul.
Bobby?
Oh, I don't know, man. He's bringing these people to life. So he might not be saying anything directly, but he's laughing when he reads it. You know what I mean? He likes it. He likes when these people say rude, disrespectful things to me. But Bobby, no, Bobby's a saint. What's that?
What?
What the fuck are you? What are you playing Fortnite, buddy? What are you? I didn't even notice that little microphone on that thing.
I've had it out there pretty soon.
I've had it for 4 weeks.
Well, it blends in with your goddamn beard.
I know. I try to hide it.
Because I didn't notice till you just look sideways.
I was trying to hide
That's
it.
the microphone that's used right now?
Yeah, it has been.
I don't think so.
Yeah. It has
Yeah.
been.
No. That's
Yeah.
fine. I don't think that's the microphone that's picking up your audio, just so you know.
What?
Yeah, I don't think it is either.
Will you just
No,
land the helicopter and answer us?
Yeah. Yeah, he's starstruck. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now.
So they're this meta glasses
I
on
don't
trying
think
to figure
that's-
out why
yeah.
he's here with us, hobos.
Yeah, are you recorded? Dude, don't. This is copyrighted. Don't record on recording. I don't think the microphone that's 1 inch from your mouth is the microphone that's picking up the audio for this show.
Why do you say that?
Flick it.
I just feel like it would
Flick
sound
it.
different. Yeah, flick it.
Nope.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes,
Dude,
it is.
this is me.
Yes,
I'm a
it is.
It's not.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No.
not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
No.
not.
It's
I don't
the
want to call
only
you.
one I've ever
I don't want to
used.
call you an idiot, but you're acting like a goddamn idiot, dude.
It's picking it up
It's the
from your
same thing if
computer.
I have it
like
on
mine.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your webcam or something is definitely your microphone.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. It sounds good. I don't know why you're wearing a microphone, unless you just like things in front of your mouth.
Anyway,
That wasn't a shot. That wasn't a shot. I just mean like
it was.
microphones.
Microphones.
Microphone. Did I eat both of those clementines?
You had about 30 of them.
Did I? Golly.
You're singing Michael Jackson, just throwing them down the gullet.
I sang Michael Jackson. Okay, buddy. From Gary, Indiana, Michael Jackson, the alleged. You kidding me?
Yeah, he's been proven innocent. Okay.
I don't think that's true.
Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, everybody's talking.
Corey Feldman.
Corey Helm.
Yeah.
Corey Helm. Corey Feldman. I love Corey Feldman, by the way. Do you guys follow Corey Feldman on Instagram?
No, he's a whack.
He's a what, dude?
He's a whack.
He's so good. He's like he has a ponytail and he dresses and acts like Michael Jackson and he sings. He has a couple good songs, but man, it is crazy.
I think it was
And I don't
last
mean really
summer.
good songs,
Maybe
but-
it was last summer. We went to the Limp Bizkit concert.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And dude, he was one of the openers, and man, I can't even tell you what I witnessed. It was one of the
Oh, I'm aware.
wildest freaking things I have ever seen in my entire life, and
Yeah,
not
did he do his
necessarily in a
guitar
good way.
solo?
It was insane.
no, I
oh
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like they had to have paid this guy full well knowing that was what the show was going to be. That was just chaos. Like it was
did.
it was
They did.
unbelievable.
He has a documentary coming out based on that tour, but he only had like a 20-minute set. He did a whole documentary on that. Yeah,
That's
No,
going to be
If
garbage.
you're not following Corey Feldman, it's
You
a
know who
good
else?
follow.
Hey, you know who else Andrew doesn't follow?
Who?
That's one. Doesn't follow him on TikTok. I can tell you. You know why? Because he's enamored by his arms, and the guy's entire thing is about men's mental, and then him in the gym.
I know it is.
Yep, see?
That's why I said something.
Now you know, dude. Would the microphone tell you?
Yeah, it did.
Ridiculous.
No, Meta did.
Oh, there you go. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Deadhead, skinhead, Michael Jackson, big man, got a big bed. They don't really care about us. True. Is that?
Wait, is Big Bed a real lyric?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he's not innocent then.
Dude, there is no way he's innocent. I don't care. There's no way.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna listen to Billie Jean. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna listen to that whatever that song. They don't really care about us. That is
Dirty Diana. Dirty Diana.
no, that's it for me.
That's
but-
a great thing.
Well, I don't know all of the catalog, but Strange Man looks like a scream mask. Had children that were not his in his bed. They can't say, "Oh, but that was early '90s." No, that was never okay. I don't care.
Yep.
It's over, buddy. And look at all these people that defend him. It's not like those guys were like, "Oh, well, those guys turned out normal. There's no way he did anything to them." Because, like I said,
One of them fought off burglars on his own as a child. Are you kidding me?
who?
I would believe him.
Somebody just joined back here, and I don't know who it is because their screen is
Oh.
blank. So I'll give them a minute.
All
Oh,
I'm saying
I see who it is. I
I'm
see who
sure
it
it's
is.
Scuba. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
Eating something. He's like, hang on,
No,
guys.
I don't know what he's doing. He might be under Michael Jackson's comforter. Hold on.
Oh man, you're gonna bring him in right on this conversation. This is gonna be good.
What
We're
the?
watching
What
fireworks.
is that? What is that? Are you doing a
Is that
spell?
outside?
He's in a medi spa.
What is
That's
that?
the
You're in a
that's the
neti
grill.
pot?
That-
Oh, here
God.
we go.
Here we go.
Here we
He's,
go.
he's in for 4 seconds.
His name was a dolphin emoji. And he
Not
had
on a day. Not on a day when Rodney's got a new setup, buddy.
Yeah, not look at me. I've come all professional. I'm ready to do this. He comes in with his fucking flip phone.
Yeah, dude. He's
Hey,
inside of a
Rodney's
Weber grill.
waiting to kill somebody.
What, Ken?
The only reason he went and bought this whole new setup is just so he could kill Scuba Steve.
I was about ready to give him all the smoke too. And then
Oh, he's
just
still
glitched
there.
out.
He's still
Yeah.
back there. He's still back there. I just don't want to. Oh God, hold on. He's in there twice, so that's a bad sign. He's back there twice. Oh boy, Scuba. I see you. I don't think it's gonna work out. Hold on. I'll
Maybe
give
if
a
you go
se-
into your
oh,
settings and turn your stuff down.
Nah, I'll add him in a minute. Let's see. I mean, it's already dark. Scuba. Hold on.
What's
Drew's
up,
got his
fellas?
sunglasses on. There you go. That sounded good.
Yeah, I'm just grilling, you know,
Oh, okay.
What are you making?
some fucking steaks with some bacon wrapped steaks and some hot dogs for the kids.
Dang, a couple of us just had some steaks. We were just talking about it. And Michael Jackson, innocent or guilty? What do you think?
Michael Jackson was innocent, man.
I had a feeling you might say that, buddy.
He was innocent, boy. I said that for a long time. My man was innocent. Everybody just played him because all these other pedophile cocksuckers was doing their shit.
So let me ask you a quick question. You have a bunch of children. Would you let them sleep in his bed?
Now, I wouldn't let him sleep in your bed, so I wouldn't let him sleep in his bed.
I wouldn't let him either because I don't do it.
Anybody that lets a kid sleep in a grown man's bed is a fucking idiot.
How could you be on
Just as
both sides
guilty.
of this argument?
He's not.
Huh?
You're not. You don't sleep with people. You're not a pedophile, but he's not going to let his kid sleep in your bed, even though that you're not that way. Listen, I don't know.
Exactly.
What do you- It's just because of the Epstein files and all this stuff. People are like, oh, there's more information coming out or whatever about Michael Jackson. I don't really care.
I'm sorry, I'm an adult, and as an adult, I
You
understand
have a
that.
dolphin emoji, dude, as your name.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
that's a shark. That's a great white shark, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Dang, buddy, don't
Get
bite.
it right.
What were you saying? That you're an adult and what?
And anybody that's not smart enough to not have their kids fucking sleep in a grown person's bed is fucking retarded. Should be shot in the face. And half these kids in those fucking files are like given to these people by their own parents. What the fuck is wrong with that?
You're
Yeah,
right.
and that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if I like fishing for largemouth bass or catfish more, but like I started.
Listen,
I think we all agree with you, but we're
my
not going to
wife-
just let Michael Jackson off the hook.
my wife has gone.
Come on, we were waiting for this.
In hiding?
Oh, we lost them.
No, we didn't. I mean, we've never seen him. We don't even know if this is Steve. Scuba, you there?
Not looking good.
It's not looking good.
Well, said just enough to get us kicked off YouTube, so that was good.
Yeah, you
All
did.
right, let's really start talking actually for real. So, forget Michael Jackson and Einstein and all these weirdos. Yeah, let's talk about the introduction to outdoors. I think I've said it before on like little things here and there. Like, I started with but when in Maine when my grandparents moved to Maine. But I'll get into that because it's a little bit more than just fishing. But Drew, I know you also started at a very young age.
Yeah. I was
Because
young.
I've seen like pictures of you as a little kid holding up bass and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who got you into fishing, or was it fishing that you got into first, as far as the outdoors and stuff?
Yeah, Fisher. We had a lake house as a family that we spent like every summer at, and every weekend at. And my uncle, as you know, many of you guys know, Fatty Hunter, Yeah, I was with him a lot. Is it raining out now?
That's his grill.
Fuck.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute you for a minute, Scuba. I'm gonna leave you in here though. Okay. Yeah, Fatty Hunter's the man. So that was the
Yeah.
guy who really got you into fishing.
Yeah, for sure. I would we would leave every Friday, like after school. Me, him, and his son, and we would head up. It's like 45 minutes away from our house.
This is
so
the
we'd head-
spot we all know, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so we would be up there from Friday after school to Sunday night and just, fish, catch frogs, cause havoc. But like early on, it was like I was like really fishing for sunnies and stuff, right off the dock because our house was like, as soon as you walk out, it was waterfront. So we would always just be hanging out, just catching sunnies. And then it eventually evolved into bass fishing, as I was older, and I could fish on my own.
Someone is at the front door.
Oh my gosh,
That ain't my house, buddy.
that's my
Someone
house.
is at front door.
Who's at your front door?
My wife.
All right, let's look at her.
Stop it.
Let's check it out.
I like there's a meme, and it's like a sunfish, and it says like everybody's what is it? The gateway drug or something like that.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so true.
Yeah. So we would
back.
fish.
Scuba, I'm gonna bring you back. I'm gonna bring you in a second. Stay back there. I won't be able to see you too, but so when I can see you, I'll throw you in here.
Yeah. So we would fish. Like when I was younger, we would fish like minnows and stuff, and just throw them out there on the bobber, or like overnight. We'd throw like food out there for eels and catfish and all that stuff. Yeah, and then just as I got older and was able to take out our like small aluminum boat, we'd fish for bass and pickerel, and then it was I was hooked at a young age, and then now it's an obsession, just like all of us.
I talked about this before. I don't know if I talked about it on here or what show I was on, but Bobby always, when he's interviewing somebody, what are you doing? What's he doing?
My wife is outside at the window.
Oh, well, Bobby will, when he's interviewing people, they'll often cover this period of time where they weren't fishing. And they'll be like, oh, I got out of it for like 10 or 15 years. And again, I've had the same experience, and I've theorized that that's just something that you could always like go back to when it's who you are, stuff like that.
For sure,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so like anytime you step away from it for something like that, it's like, yeah, because you have to do other stuff. You have obligations in life, growing and socializing and chasing girls or, doing bad things or whatever. But like fishing is always the constant that you can go back to. It doesn't go away, even if you give it a break or something like that. So
And I think what helped us,
I stepped away.
yeah, and I think what helped me, especially was always having a house, like always having a lake house at like, weekends.
Alex, check. Hold on, bro.
Check your
Weekends.
privilege.
Was that a shot at me?
I'm
Was
just
that
saying.
what do you mean?
No,
What
no.
comment was that?
I'm just saying I didn't ever have like a huge time in between of not fishing because I always had an option.
What
I
he's
always
saying
had
is he's
a
always-
weekend away that I could head up there and I could fish. Even if it okay. I'm done here.
Excuse you.
I gotta go.
No, I'm listening to you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you always. I get what you're saying. You're saying like
It
that
was
you didn't have a long
yes, he
period
is
stepping
being
away.
mean to me. Like always.
No, dude, you said you always had a house. I moved 18 times before I went to the army. Third floor apartment.
I didn't live
know
there.
I didn't know what you were
there.
saying. I've always had a house, so it was easy
he
for me.
means
What the?
he's always had the family lake house, so he's always had the opportunity because of the family
Dude,
lake.
you gotta knock this off, man.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm not taking
sorry.
shots at you, bro.
I
Come
thought you were
on.
taking a shot. That's how
I
it
would
shot.
never do that.
That's the thing. As a kid,
I would never do that though.
growing up the way I grew up, I thought you were like last week. You said I didn't have a dad or whatever you said.
You said that.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with your
Had to.
residence, Billy. But we
Yeah,
do like the
dude.
house that you have now, and you've earned it.
This is
Yes.
coming from another guy with a lake house all his whole life. But I this isn't what I wanted to do. I swear to God.
Yeah, right.
But now I feel like you're both kind of like going to talk about this
It's
later.
what
But
always
like, oh,
This shit always happens.
I get what you're saying. Ken actually made more sense of it to me. I'm not saying you were going back thinking about it now. You're saying like you always had that option, not that far away, to go to the house with the lake
Right.
on it. So you were,
Yes.
and by the way,
House.
for
I know.
anyone listening, it's
Yes.
not a huge. That was always the joke, a huge lake house. It's like a nice little cabin on a lake. It's an awesome spot. I would kill for that thing, but yeah, it's a good option. Absolutely, I feel the same way. That's exactly the case for me too. I would go back no matter what I would do through the years. My
Yeah,
entire
right.
summers were spent up there. So
Yep.
yeah, okay, that's awesome. And you never really had a lengthy period where you stepped away or anything like that.
Not really.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, not really. And then my uncle and I, when I was older, we would always go out opening day fishing
Mhm.
in that river. And we fish a lot, Bill.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And even if it was only once a year, I mean, we did it every year.
yeah.
Up until recently, when we didn't have an official opening day anymore.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. So
we
that
went
was
to
all,
the
that was always
fishing
fun.
derby as kids. The fishing derby you'd have to go to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I used to go to the Hubbard Park. That's at opening day. They had the
Oh,
fishing derbies there. Yeah. They had
Oh,
the
that's cool.
fishing derby was huge there too. By the way,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people fish there anyway. So, but yeah, Mirror Lake. They used to have big fishing derbies there. I won something there, like a bike or something there one time, just for like I don't remember what it was for, but yeah,
Who ran that?
that's a good question. Maybe the Lions Club or something like that.
Yeah.
Ours was always the Lions Club. Men's club or the Lions Club was always ours.
Yeah, that's usually yeah. I know a lot of the rod and gun clubs do it too now. But yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I didn't even think about what you said about the opening day thing. That is weird because that's like a thing I totally forgot about. That was a big thing. Opening day, you go
Yeah.
out to the lake or to a pond and like usually it's like a fishing derby or
Yeah,
something.
Yep.
I didn't
So you
think
guys
about
had an
that.
opening day for fishing?
It's like it was
Or is it like for species?
ceremonial.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
there's some species you could fish for all year long.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it would usually be like the first week in April, I want to say, for like trout season where you
Yeah,
could harvest
yeah.
them and stuff like
Yeah.
It was always trout. Opening day.
that. And that's
Yeah.
all it was. And they would stock these ponds with trout like the day before and stuff like that.
Yeah.
These are small places. Like the big lakes. I mean, yeah, people, obviously New England, like you're ice fishing and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't, but people do.
Yeah.
What
I
about you,
fished
Kenny?
in-
Kenny, I don't know. Did you have that spot your whole life or no?
No, I grew
No.
up very poor in the valley.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I grew up in the
Oh,
woods.
Michael
I grew
Jackson,
up in the
dude.
woods. So you ask about like outdoorsy stuff. I
Yeah.
grew up playing in the woods, like deep into the woods. But as far as fishing goes, all our family vacations was always to a lake somewhere. We used to go to a lake in New Hampshire called Otter Pond, and we would go fishing up there. And then every year we'd go for 2 weeks, and then we went to Lake Sacandaga. We started going there every year. My grandparents had a house in Fairfield on a lake, or like right off the lake, but they were part of the association, so we always go fishing. My uncle, who has passed, my dad's brother, was always big into fishing and always would bring us out to the ponds and the lakes. And then he got really big into saltwater, so he would bring us saltwater fishing all the time out of Brantford. He had a condo right in the water there. So it was just kind of that type of thing, family, like you say. And no, I didn't always have that place. But we did end up leaving. We got the place there was a family issue. We left that place and bought a place in Bantam Lake.
Ooh, yeah.
And I kind of wish we kept it because that's such a nice lake.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Well, you live on a very nice, or you guys have a spot on a very nice lake.
And then the family issue kind of resolved itself. We bought that place outright because we did it with my dad's brother. Bought it outright. He moved on the same lake in a different spot, and then we've had it for, I don't know, quite a few years. But I was old. I think I was older.
Make a mental note, gentlemen, offline. We need to revisit that for real. No joke. Revisit that. What you just said. I got something to say offline. But anyway, well, the spot you live at now, that's like a lake you could like. That is like a year-long spot where you could constantly fish. You could harvest fish. It's very clean. Like that's like the ideal spot. You like. So when I look at places like in other states, eventually that I want to move to, that's all I look for is like, could it sustain? And not that I do this, but like if need be, could it sustain year round? Like, and is it clean? Can you eat out of it and stuff like that? The spot that you guys have now, that's a great lake.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Like the spot Andrew had the house on, that lake is like a fishing lake. The lake that I'm on is like a recreation lake. There's no there's not really down trees. There's no like real good spots. I mean, you can fish it, you can catch fish, but I feel like it's not the best fishing spot in the area. There's a couple lakes.
And also mine, I feel like it's really all one level, right? You have holes that are like 40, 50 feet, whereas my deepest is like 10 maybe, and it's pretty, from like 4 to 6, like almost everywhere. So it's easier to actually find fish. I mean, it is more weedy and has logs and that stuff, which is easier. But like yours has to have absolute monsters in there somewhere hiding.
I know where there's.
Who is that?
Addie. Yeah, she looks homeless.
Go Patriots! Go Patriots! Oh, tell her I said. Tell her I said go Drake May.
No, I love you.
Can I take a shower?
Yes.
Okay, Mom.
So is your guys' water like all pretty much shallow over that way?
No.
No, I mean,
not at all.
Granted, I understand you guys you do have salt water, but like your inland lakes and stuff like that. Are you guys like in that 10 to 15 foot mark, pretty much across the board?
No.
No,
yeah,
there's a huge variety.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like I don't fish deep, super deep water.
Yeah.
But or it's just not my preference. But like Ken's spot, that lake goes so deep. I caught a pickerel there at like 38 feet, and I pulled it up, and it didn't even look like a regular. It didn't even look like a regular because I'm so not used to catching fish that deep. It was like white, and it had like a green pattern. I'm like, oh, this is sick. I'm like, that's just how rare it is that I fish super deep water. But and that's not even super deep compared to like what's it, Jake Angelis, whatever the guy said. I couldn't say his name. Ryan Nye's buddy there. He's scoping fish and drops at 90 feet of water.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's insane. Yeah, so like my spot, it was old farmland.
Okay.
So it's like really muddy. It's like really marshy at the bottom.
Yeah.
A lot of weeds.
It's a lot of man-made lakes too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
Gotcha.
what mine is.
What about
Yes,
you?
I mean
Rodney?
outside of
I feel like you came
our
up hunting
reservoirs,
too,
and
didn't
stuff.
you?
Say that again.
You came up hunting and stuff too, didn't you?
Not till probably later.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
yeah.
interrupt you about the
No,
reservoirs. Go
you're
ahead.
good. Probably not. Man, I'm gonna say I was probably a late teenager, probably when I started hunting, and that was more of a. My buddies were doing it, so I just instantly took on that, that character, and was like, well, I can do this too, and I started all this kind of the same way everybody does, and I kind of similar to your guys' story. My grandparents had a lake house, and they were snowbirds, so they were down in Florida all winter, and then they come back and they had their lake house in the summertime. And we never were big into fishing. And I think it was because the option was always there. You know, it's just it wasn't an everyday thing, but we just never really got super big into it. I can remember going out with my grandpa and my great grandpa and cane pole fishing, you know, for bluegill and sunfish and all that. But I never got into any type of game fishing, bass, catfish, any of that stuff until way later. Like, and I think I caught my first bass on accident at some little private pond that me and my dad were bluegill fishing at. And there was another guy back there, and he gave me a chartreuse plastic worm. He's like, "Hey, tie this on," and bam, I was slammed. And that was that. I'm pretty confident that was the first bass that I ever caught was that day. But bass fishing, that kind of stuff, it just never. I don't know. It was always there, but it just never was a big go do it. You know, like that's my hobby. You know, kind of a thing. But you know, and then here in the last 5, 6, 7 years, I've really gotten back into it and kind of made it a hobby. Yeah, and the hunting part of it, we love that. And the hunting end of it is more of a big deer hunter, but I don't even care if I get anything. But you know, it's not even a case of going out and putting meat in my freezer. That alone time just out in the woods, that's worth it all. Like that, just those 2 weeks that we get with my shotgun to sit out there and just me and Mother Nature, that's worth all of it. It doesn't matter what I've got in my freezer or hanging on the wall. That's worth it all.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm not a big hunter. I've only done it a few years, gone out, and while I enjoyed it and I loved being out there and I loved the idea of it, and I've shot deer before, but I don't know. As much as I enjoyed it, and I think I could be obsessed with it. I'm an obsessive guy. I've talked about it before, but like I would need somebody to really like guide me onto not literally guide me, but do you know what I mean? Like
hold your hand and walk you through it.
It's not a thing that I completely have ever immersed myself into. I've tried and I've enjoyed it and I've consumed my fall with it a few years, but then when it came down to it, getting back to it, I was like, man, it's hard for me because I'm so like obsessed with fishing. It was so hard for me to not be fishing in the fall when I love hitting the rivers and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, what am I doing this for if it's not something that's I mean, I love to know I have the ability to do it. And I think that was more of the battle with hunting. It's like just knowing that I could, but it wasn't what drove me. Like I said, stepping away from the rivers in the fall was like almost a challenge for me. So I'm like, what am I doing? You know?
Yeah. We haven't done it in the last couple of years because the little kids are getting older and, you know, winter time's all basketball and all that stuff. So we've had a hard time getting the schedules to line up. But one side of our family, all the guys get together and we do a big rabbit hunt once a year. And that was Rodney had been introduced to deer hunting with me ever since he could walk. You know, he's been in the woods with me and all that. But introducing him to rabbit hunting was a whole different level to that because you're up close and personal. You know, he got to be with all the men of the family. You know,
I remember when you guys were posting this.
Yeah, he got to hang out with his little cousins and stuff. You know, he got to make some core memories. But then when you have all the guys, you know, pushing through a woods, and then you send that kid into this little brush pile to kick up a rabbit, and then they run over there and they pick up this. There's just something. It changes the chemistry in their brain a little bit to really, really respect what we're doing, and it puts a different. I don't even know what the right word for it is. It puts a different drive in them to want to go do that kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's a primal instinct. It is in us, the hunting and fishing, the outdoors, and like Ken said, like just running around in the woods, like that's a thing.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? That is a real thing that you feel. It's like hard to describe, you know, if it's in you, you know.
Actually, I think.
Well, I remember your Big Louie. Was it Big Louie?
I think this is this was, I think, our first rabbit hunt.
Oh, look how little this guy was.
Oh my God, look how small he was. That's awesome.
Yeah, and he had this little white and orange, like I don't even know if it was a Nerf gun or just a toy shotgun, but that's what he carried around. You know, he wanted to take his gun, but I was like, no, there's gonna be people out there. So
Yeah.
he just carried around his little Nerf gun, and we shoot a rabbit, and off he goes, and he'd grab it. And man, he loved it. He still talks about that, and we haven't done it for a couple of years.
That's great.
Well, I remember you guys had the YouTube video. I was gonna say, was it Big Louie, the big deer
Oh,
that
yeah,
you had watched
yeah.
for a few years? That was
Yeah,
that was a great video.
Big
Still
Louie
remember it.
Louie was my last big one that I got, and then the year before that was, or 2 years before that was Donnie. And yeah, that's one of those. We put trail cams out. We got to name everything, and
Yeah.
and then we track that deer for the whole entire season. So
Dude, I'm in some of the in my personal Facebook page, which I'm not on often. Like I said, I only had made it to reconnect with some of the guys from the military, but I was, even with my time away and being offline, I was still in like some of the CT fishing and hunting like forums, just reading. I never posted or anything, but it's got to be like devastating for these dudes that track these deer for years, and then somebody grabs it on the property next to them or something. Or
Yeah.
dude, I can't imagine like being that invested into a specific animal for like 3 seasons, and then somebody else. Oh, dude.
and that's a big thing here, where we're so populated around here anymore that everybody's got, you might have a 10-acre woods you can hunt, and right next door there's another 20. So if you see something, you've got to shoot it. Like there is no the whole let it go, let it grow. Like that doesn't exist around here. If you do that, you can't bitch, because your neighbor's going to get it. That's just how it is.
Well, I think Connecticut is like, and I might even be grossly exaggerating. I want to say it's 17% public land, but I might not even be. And Connecticut's very small, obviously. I might even be off by that. It might even be way less. That's just for some reason that stands out in my head. I mean, it's all permission slips. You're hunting on slips. So I mean that's just the way it is. I had a permission to hunt on my Krober. I was hunting on his property years ago, and I had a little self climber, and I was up there with a bow, and I sat a couple days. I had some good ones on the cam, and nothing. And then he said, dude, the stand you were in, somebody was shooting at that tree the other day. Like his neighbor thought it was his property. He set up a target, was shooting at it. I'm like, yeah, all right, I won't go back there again, I guess. That's a wooded area. If you guys know where he lives, that's a wooded area, but it's just, there is no, you get out on the water in some of these spots that back up to the forest, and you're truly out there alone. But hunting, man, like you said, it's all just so congested.
Yep.
I talked about it before, but so you talk about core memories. So for me getting started, it's like, I don't remember how old I was. Like I remember fishing when I was a little kid, 2 or 3 years old, like bluegills, but really fishing. So my grandparents moved from Connecticut and bought a spot when my grandfather retired in Maine, and they're far up there. And it's like 6 hours from here. And they bought a house, little backyard, and then it backs up to a cove on a lake. And I talk about it all the time, like not to any disrespect to my mom, like she raising 2 kids by herself, so she would drop us off. I think about it now, like with my own kids, I'm like, I don't know how you could ever do this, but she would drop us off for 3 months up in Maine, and we would spend the summer, a long prolonged summer, because we went to Catholic school, so a prolonged summer up in Maine at my grandparents' house. And my grandfather is he was like the true real deal, like almost like stereotypical outdoorsman, like chewing Red Man and take 10 casts, or he'd be out in the woods or like riding on dirt roads, and he's just the real deal, and man of very few words. And I just looked at this guy, even as like I want to say I was probably like 7 years old when they moved up there, and I'm like, that is the man, like that's the guy you want to be. He comes in, he would have his old Air Force cap on or like a cowboy hat on, and you're just like, that dude, that's the man, you know what I mean? But I often talked about my grandmother is the one that got me fishing. We would go out, fish from their backyard, and the same thing, bluegills, shiners, whatever. But Drew talked about live bait. I don't remember using lures until I was probably 13 years old, maybe a little bit earlier than that. But for years and years and years, that's all we'd use: night crawlers or shiners, whatever. We'd set the traps out for shiners or crayfish. We'd send these little bread traps and come up in the morning. I'd pull the traps. I'd have crayfish, shiners, bluegill in there. That'd be my bait for the day. And this is a fishing town. It's like, I mean, it's Maine. A lot of those towns are just fishing towns straight up. But we would also, when it rained, I think about this. It's so funny thinking about it now. Every time it rained at night, my grandmother didn't drive at the time. My grandfather would drive us to the hospital, and we would go out there like after 8, as soon as it's dark enough out there, and we'd have these little tiny mag lights, and we would just snatch night crawlers off the grass, and we'd get like, 600, 700 night crawlers, put them in the styrofoam with the soil and the newspaper. Night crawlers, $2.50 per dozen, and we'd separate them by dozens. So that was like my first job. I'd catch night crawlers. I get a little piece of the each dozen that we sold. So people would knock on the door 3 a.m. because they're going out, like, they're visiting. You'd open the door. I'm like a 10-year-old kid opening the door at 3:30 in the morning, telling people night crawling. And it didn't seem weird. You think about it now, like I said, all this stuff seems so strange now, like dropping your kids off for the 3 months. And my grandfather, I think about now, if I couldn't even think, knowing the man that my grandfather was, hey, it's raining, we got to go drop. But he, it's money.
So I can remember my grandma and grandpa had like a compost pile on their fence line in the back. And grandpa had this like 3-foot long, I don't know if it was rebar or what it was. Yeah. But and as a kid, we didn't know really what it was. It was a magic stick, but he plugged an extension cord into it, crammed that damn thing down the ground, man, and all these night crawlers would come up. Like, now that I'm older,
before. It might have been from you, but I've heard about this before.
Yeah, it's electrocuting the grounds what it's doing. Yeah, and the worms are coming up out, and he'd go out there and he'd find a soft spot in the yard or in the compost pile. He'd cram this rod down in and plug an extension cord in, give it a couple seconds, and it just the night crawlers would come up. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'm pretty sure
thing,
I'm pretty sure that you can buy, I'm gonna call them probably an earthworm safe version of that now. But I mean, we're talking some old school just rebar and an extension cord. I mean, that was pure electricity running into the ground. Yeah.
We used to take but yeah, my grandmother would teach me how to like clean the fish, right? So their cats, and I'm sure they eat regular cat food too. I don't know, but like I always say, like the pickerel, like we would take pickerel out of that lake. I would clean these pickerel a certain way, and that's what they would make their cat food out of. Like, I mean, we really like harvested a lot of fish. I didn't eat fish at the time. A lot of white perch. So I never was just a bass fisherman at that age. Like I would fish for whatever. Like, although I was never catching trout until I went further up north, where I had like her brother, which is my great uncle. Like they would literally like fish to eat. You know what I mean? We'd hit streams, and this is a different lifestyle, those guys. But like that's why the first time I ever caught a rainbow trout or a brook trout, and I'm like trying to release it because I was like, they're like, no, that's dinner. You got your dinner. We got to catch ours, like stuff like that. I was like, holy shit! But then I did it, and I loved it. And but yeah, we would the pickerel would be the cat food. I would the smallmouth, and I don't even know if this is true to this day, but by the way, at the time I had never, the first time I ever caught a largemouth, I was like 14. I was like, holy shit, it's a largemouth bass, because it's all smallmouth from where I was catching. I'm sure there are largemouth there, knowing what I know about it now, but I hadn't seen one my whole life until I was like 14 or 15 fishing in Connecticut.
Isn't that so funny? Because here,
it's crazy.
The opposite.
Oh yeah, you catch a smallie, you're so pumped. You get a nice smallie. Yeah. But like, I was true, like, and again, it's also good that it was my grandparents, because they like, like my grandma they were cool. They watched me, but not really. I kind of got to do whatever I wanted. I was legitimately like a wild kid, like gone the moment I woke up. And if I went home that night, it was like to check in, and I'd probably sneak out again. But by the way, the trouble I was getting into, normal, ordinary kid trouble, but literally also mostly just fishing. I'm like stealing the aluminum boat and going out fishing and catching bullhead and eels, like Drew said. We used to take a bluegill alive or dead, whatever. And my grandmother would let me in. It's such a pain in the ass. I remember her being annoyed by this, but she never stopped me from doing it. And I'd throw it out at night and put it in the rod holder in her yard. And then in the morning I'd wake up and first thing I'd look, that rod, then I'm like, ugh. Be like a giant eel. She'd be out there with a hatchet, cut it up, and that would go right to the compost pile. That would be in the compost pile, like eggshells, eels, bullheaded, and that was like school was 8.5 months, something like that, whatever it was. I would the entire time just wait to get back to Maine. Like I remember, like through basketball, through everything I was doing in my regular life, could not. When I would tell you I was so obsessed, like it doesn't always click for young kids like that, but I was so obsessed with it was also like a different life because I lived in a little city in Connecticut, so around people that don't live like this, and I'm like, you guys have no idea the life I live when I leave this place in the summer. Like it was literally like, and then I'd go to Maine and they'd be like, are there a lot of gangs in Connecticut? I'm like, yeah, but we just figure it out. You know, I'm like talking shit. I'm like, I'm just lying, you know, like about how bad it is. Like, yeah, a couple people shoot at me a day. It's so big. But like, I'm like Tom Sawyer out there. You know what I mean? And it's like I had two different lives. But like, it was to the point where it's like, it was I would have like little girlfriends and stuff like that. And I would take them to I won't even say the name because I don't want to spoil the town because there's some other connections to it. But there was a Chinese restaurant there, and I would like have credit there to take people to go eat Chinese food because I would bring white perch to the guy. I'd have a stringer full of white perch. I'd be on my bicycle riding with like 12 white perch to the restaurant. I'd give it to him, and he'd be like, "Okay, it's like you have $30 of credit here." Okay, all right.
Dude, no joke, man. The place just closed up here within I think the last 2 years probably, but the little town next to mine, about 20 minutes away. They had a Chinese restaurant that forever and ever and ever, the best Chinese food you ever had in your life. But I can remember I'm a late teenager, early 20s. I mean, I was out of high school, but like you would go, if you went like carp fishing or just any kind of trash fish, you'd bring it back and that old man would sit in the alley at the back of that restaurant. And he's just cleaning fish, man. And like you get older and you kind of wonder like, man, is that really rat that I'm eating instead of chicken, or cat, one of those? But like, just because I've witnessed it, like, but it's wild.
I agree. But other than like, you have like some people like have like a reoccurring like bad dreams, especially when you're a kid. Like I always used to dream of Chucky, the Child's Play doll. I'm almost 40 years old. Last night had the most vivid dream of this town, and I'm an adult in the dream this time. But like that's still like besides obviously being a father and like kids and stuff like that. But like my childhood is all about those summers. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
And when I take my kids
Except
fishing and stuff like that,
it's the exact same way. Yeah,
yeah. It's. I just think, and again, I want to go there. I'm probably going to go there this summer and take my family because I want them to see it and want them to see the town. And there's still a couple. I look at it like on Google Street View. There's a couple of places I would buy if they ever went up for sale. My wife's like really big against it because of the winters. She wants to go down south and stuff. But I'm like, man, I think all they got to do is see it and feel it. And like, and meanwhile, I'll probably get there and it'd be nothing like.
What you're,
you know what I mean?
What you're saying too is, I've noticed that just the older Rodney gets, I have those core memories too. The things that I remember were so awesome as a child, and they probably weren't really. They were probably dumb as hell, but look back at it as an adult, and it was that time of your life, And I try my hardest to kind of bring that same environment to Rodney every once in a while, but I don't know if you just can't recreate that anymore, or if a little bit of selfishness stays inside of you where you don't give them the whole experience. Like I try to give him that.
Well, you can't.
you know what I'm trying to say though, like.
But you can't give them as much freedom as we had because it was reckless.
I don't even know if I mean the freedom part of it, but just the things that you did, and then as an adult you go try to do them again, and you're like, man, this is kind of lame. Like,
I took my kid, and my girls are like one of them super like girly, like stereotypical girly, and the other one is like kind of like a tomboy, but she gets into the girly stuff too. But again, I have two daughters, but like since every vacation we take, like for me, I'm always like, unless like if we go on a cruise or something, it's a little bit impossible. But any other place we go, like if we get an Airbnb or whatever hotel, I'll be like, well, I want to do a little bit of fishing, no matter what. Like I want to hit a lake or I want to. It's just what I want to do. So I take the kids, and like I want them to, like to just remember that big bat? Like we went to Disney World. I rented the guy had the shittiest lures there was, like these ripped up little soft plastics and like a Ned hook. And I'm like, all right, whatever, just give me that. So he's like, I'm not gonna charge it because I don't know where the fish and stuff is. I'm like, that's fine. And we caught like a 4-pounder off the bridge, and Halo's like, people were like, what the hell did they just do? Like it wasn't one of the fishing spots or like where you could go to, but like that's what we do no matter where we go. Like I want them to get on fish because in my head I have the same thing. Like I want, like, I don't know if those are going to be things they think about later, but like I remember when Haley caught her first bass, and it was the same thing. It was accidental. She was fishing. We were at Wharton Brook fishing for stock trout, and she caught a largemouth, and she's like, "Oh, I got one." I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "I need to cast it myself. I need to do this." And I'm like, "Okay, fine." She's casting knots, and it's 2 inches in front of her. And all of a sudden, she's like, "I got one." I'm like, "Okay, good." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like she did that. You know what I mean? Or we go to Lake George or whatever. We're going to the docks. We're fishing. Like and they love it. They love fishing. But obviously it's like you said, Rodney, it's never, I don't think it's ever going to be the same as we had it, but it'll still probably be memories that they always have. Because like you said, if you go back, it's probably a lot of dumb shit. But we I don't know if the word is revere, but we revere it. Is that good? Is that the right word?
That works for
Whatever.
me.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like we look at like, oh, that was the best. Meanwhile, if you flash back and went through, really, we're just probably morons fishing on a dock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yep. But like it, so hopefully it's as it's as good of a memory to them as it was to us. But yeah, the freedom and stuff that'll never happen.
But see, here's a conversation I have with my brother a lot, and it is over the freedom thing. Is the lack of freedom that we give the kids that we had growing up? Is that something that we just put the harness on, or is that really because everything is so much more terrifying now?
Well, no, I mean, even the water. I would never let my kids near water without me there. I would kill them if I found out they were like out by a lake,
But why were we allowed?
Because our parents
we were raised by hippies, dude. We were raised by hippies.
Yeah.
Right? But we're all here is what is kind of what I
made it, dude.
But we made it, and it's character building, man.
It is.
Like, I had her in the military. I'm sure they had character building in the military. You know what I mean?
What'd you say, Ken?
I said I had 4 siblings growing up, dude, and now I only have a sister.
Because of your childhood?
Yeah, because one fell out of an airplane because my dad told her to look over the side, and then the other one went near a body of water, and we never saw him again.
I don't know if this is true. I've never heard these two stories.
It could be true.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's true.
I'm looking I'm looking at your facial expression.
I don't know. I don't know.
These are
I don't know. Well, I'll tell you this: if it's a real story, it's insane that you just blamed your dad.
Yeah.
I think I saw him smoking crack one night.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. There was something in a weird way.
Oh my god!
By the way, I just in my head I just connected this. I remember an old King of the Hill episode where he had crack and he was fishing with crack cocaine. He thought it was like a special bait, and then he's like looking for any excuse to go fishing. And Bobby Hill, he goes, "Can you pass the syrup?" He goes, "That's it. I'm going fishing." He was all pissed off. Ken, I'm sorry to hear about that. I didn't know that. Insane if that's true the way you brought it up and the way you just told us, but I hope it's not true. But anyway,
super casual.
I've known you for 18 years. Oh yeah, that's nuts.
I think it's us though, Rodney.
Well, think about this. I remember when I was maybe 12, 13, my grandfather said, hey, you could take the boat out. And again, this is like one of them hand throttle little, I want to say it wasn't a Lund, but like, you know what I mean? Just this.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't believe it. I was like,
at what age?
I was like probably 12.
Okay.
Which is Haley's 12.
That's what I'm saying. And you would never let
never.
No.
If
I
we
would,
were
I'd let Landon pick it up because I was.
I
Maybe it's a boy
That
versus girl
age.
thing.
No,
Maybe, I don't know.
yeah, no, I don't know.
I don't know, dude. If I was like, well, we go fish. I take the girl. Olivia's big into catfishing, right? But I think it's also because our success rate is pretty big. Like catfish is like
It always helps.
my thing. It's my thing, you know. And we have a good spot, as you know. So I'd say way more often than not, we're catching catfish. So she'll say, like this year, again, I wasn't on here, but like I never took the kayak out one time in 2025. But like I can't tell you how many times, like, all right, we just got back from gymnastics, we just got this, and Olivia's like, can we go catfishing? And I'm like, okay, we got an hour left of daylight. Yeah, let's go do it. And we'll do it because again, part of the reason I actually picked this house was because of its proximity to this river, which I still don't know how to fish, but I'm not gonna get into that. But this is the Connecticut River. It's like you would talk about deep. As soon as I launch, I'm 42 feet. I have no idea. But anyway, I have no idea.
Wow.
I can't. I tried. I've had some success, but we'll stick the catfish on it for now. But yeah. So even when I'm there, I'm on the bank with them, and I specifically won't make it too comfortable. Like I want them to really like be out there and like. My Erica's like, oh, you fucking ruined your sneakers again. I'm like, I don't care. I want because that's what they want to be in. That they want to walk into the water, especially Olivia, because she's still not as busy as my other kid who's got a million things to do, like teaching and coaching and all that stuff. So Olivia's like, let's go. And she's walking into the water and ruining her shoes and she's catching fish and she's holding it up. I'm like, I'm good with all that because those are things that she talks about. Like she was talking about today, the winter. She can't wait till it's done so we can go fishing. That's good stuff. I love that.
Yeah.
The point of my story here that I'm rambling about is I'm 10 feet away and that river moves so fast under. I'm like, yo, back up. Yeah. Meanwhile, if that was the river that was near my grandparents' house, I would have been there by myself on a boat, probably finding somebody's canoe that I could borrow. Like,
So I guess I think the fear of what could happen to our kids now compared to what we were like when we were kids is just how fast the world is now. Like the information, the everything.
God,
like,
this is the oldest fucking episode we've ever done.
I mean, I'm sure.
Shitheads.
I'm sure that when we were growing up, that there were hundreds of kids who fell off a bank into a river.
Oh,
You know,
for sure.
We just
Wasn't
didn't
known
hear
about it.
We didn't hear about
I fell
it.
through the ice. I fell through the ice.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about little Billy Rogers falling through the ice. You know,
Oh,
here
that's
in-
I heard about it. I told
here-
everybody I met.
here in No Man's Land, Indiana. I didn't know about that, but today, if little Billy Rogers would fall through the ice, Jesus, man, you'd be on the Today Show. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's just everything is so fast, and we have information at such a crazy rate anymore that I think it's kind of put a fear in us as parents on what we can allow. Or I don't think the stranger danger is any worse today than it was when we were growing up. You know, I live in the same town that I was born and raised in. And I've got me and my brother, and then another one of our buddies. We're still here, and we have kids, and we're trying to get these
wearing
kids.
a Michael Jackson T-shirt while he's saying this. That's all I want to say.
But we're trying to get the kids to, I don't know, leave us. Like not leave, but go to the pop machine by yourself. I don't need to hold your hand. But they're so afraid to go do that. And it's a wild time.
Oh, it's funny that you say that because my kid, my youngest, the one that really wants to go everywhere with me. Also, if I go 12 feet away from her, she's like, "Whoa, where are you going?"
Yep, exactly.
And
we're
in the basement. We're in the basement, and I'll mess with her. I'll be like, I'll be playing Xbox, so she's doing like gymnastics and stuff like that, and I'll just turn my Xbox off, and I'll just sprint out of the basement, and she's like, "No!" Like, she thinks something happened. I didn't tell her. But no, I think you're nailing it. I think.
Rodney, he's going to be 10. My brother, he lives no more than a minute away from me, and I'll have to run down there for something. I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna run down to Uncle Dave's real quick. Just stay here. We don't need. And dude, when I get back, every light in the house is on. Him and the dog are at the back door waiting on me. If he had keys to the gun cabinet, I'm sure he'd have the shotgun out. Like he is, he is locking down. I'm like, dude, I was gone for 1 minute and 42 seconds. Like, just relax, dude.
Yeah. I get it. I don't know what it is. That's a whole nother topic. I agree. I don't know. I'm so lost with that stuff that I play it day by day. I do.
Do you
I
think any of
all
it has
us-
to do with COVID?
probably
Could
some
be.
of it, some of the
Like, maybe not
anxiety.
the
I'm
older
sure.
ones, but the one, if they're like 5 now, for a very 2 years in their developmental stage, all we
Yeah.
do is tell them to stay away from people, stay away from them,
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
over
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Jeez, yeah, that could be. That very well could be. But again, you guys know Haley, like she was always like a little shake box and anxious and all that. And now she's like, get away from me, because so it might just be a natural progression.
The
that we
age
just-
though also
we didn't pay.
because
Yeah, we might just not have paid attention to, or it might not have been anything that we remember. We might have been like that,
It's
like
probably
little
just age,
attached
yeah.
and shit.
age, yeah.
I mean, COVID
You know.
took Andrew's eyesight, but past that,
Yeah, and he still can't breathe through his nose, and I know that's a fact because I can hear him talk, not through the microphone on his earpiece.
no, come on, dude, put him back on. I'm only joking.
Oh God! Oh God!
All right.
Very nice.
Dude, that was exactly. Oh my God, that is exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, I was like, nope, I'm not even going there. I'm not even saying nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, that is Borat through and through, right there.
It's a topic that we
Very
discuss
nice.
quite often, but it's getting a little bit. I feel a little
Oh,
bit,
man.
like maybe I'm going a little too far.
Oh,
Um,
man.
No, listen, I think to the man, I wish, and again, you guys understand. You guys are, you're out there, you're on the water, you're fishing, and again, you take breaks from it, or you go back to it, or whatever. And it's like it's just who you are, and it's a part of you. And it's sometimes when I think about, and the reason I want to talk about is like how we got into it, because like I said, just last night I had this dream about where I was like back there, and I was an adult, and it wasn't the same, but I was still like, and I think it's almost, and maybe it's reminiscing about family. I don't know, because it's not how I feel about it, but maybe that's what it is subliminally. But man, it's like I wish I could like go back and relive those days. And I'm not saying I had a bad childhood, but a child is like not one that you'd really want to go back and relive. But those, and I mean, I wasn't a doctor, didn't get me, Ken. But
It's not funny.
those days, those are like the best memories I've had of my life, besides having kids and being with my wife and stuff like that. Like just fish. It's all around for me anyway. It's all has to do with fishing and being out in the water and stuff like that. Like I don't know. I can't explain it. But that's just like I feel like that's everything about like who I am. It all goes back to like certain things I've done in my life, and fishing was always a constant.
Well, that's
Wow.
one of the things, why I was so upset when we sold our house
Yeah.
on the lake, because I was so happy here in the summers and just having it being so accessible that I really wanted that, and I'm at an age that I have a family and they're at the same ages as I was, when I was always over there. So it's like, I get so mad thinking about it because also, I wanted it,
Yeah.
selfishly, I wanted to buy it, and it just wasn't an option because of family issues. Yeah, it sucks.
My grandparents' house that they had, it was a small house, but the one that on their very small piece of property, they owned a can only be described as like a cottage, but it's like a 1-bedroom, very small house. They own that next to it, and they would rent it out, or this like lady that lived there with her dog, and like whatever. That's the house I want, because I'm like, I don't want a home up there.
Yeah.
I like
Right.
have contacted realtors so many times, like, hey, just go knock on their door for me.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like I don't have a lot of money to spend on a house, and Erica would kill me, but like I've made offers, like knock on
Yeah.
the door, tell them I'll give them this much, like, and it's like I'm talking about the yard is the size of my basement, but then it's that same cove. It's
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
I want that fucking spot.
Yeah.
And again, I might get there and be like, this is a nightmare.
Yeah.
This is a headache. There's meth addicts walking. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
because I was a kid, I don't have that awareness that I would have now.
Yeah,
but
right.
like I feel like it would be like that's where I want to be. Like you said about that same house, it's like you want your kids to experience that and live
Yeah,
that.
of course.
And then
Yep.
if it fucking snows, like yesterday, it fucking snowed again, and I was like, I am What am I
Oh.
talking about going to
I
Maine?
know.
Like that,
Yeah.
I like forget Maine. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even Maine. It's just a time and place. I think is what we reminisce about.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yep. I mean, we
I
didn't
remember telling my
even have
grandfather.
running water there. You
I
know,
remember
but
really.
Yeah. No.
I peed in your sink when I was there, but I remember telling my grandfather like, oh, he's like, what do you want to do when you're grown up? And he was a cop and he was in the Air Force and stuff like that. And then he got a couple of little jobs when he retired, but he lived very modest off his pension, and he was like he did like animal control like officer or something up there. But anyway, so I was like, oh, I want to be a bass fisherman, because like that's all I fucking care.
I
He's
just say that
like,
all the time.
dude, he's like, do you know how much? And I didn't watch like pro bass fishing. I don't even know if
No.
it was on TV. I mean, it probably was on TV and stuff, but I remember like the Banjo Minnow commercials. That I would
Yeah.
really watch those because it would
Yeah.
show fishing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I said I want to be a bass fisherman. And he's like, do you know how much money it costs to be a bass fisherman? He's like, those guys, they have most of those guys have regular jobs. You know what I mean? Like it costs. You got to think about the. And I remember he broke it down one time. And it's like just, that's why like when we started Hooks At, actually have a post when I relaunched this Instagram, and I was like, there's a story here, and it's like, whatever the song is about, like nothing turns out like you planned. I'm like, the story is pretty cool. It's like we kind of took a shortcut, but we're all
Yeah.
very much immersed in this
Oh,
life.
yeah.
Like if I was a kid and I looked at like what we do, I'd be like, those are the coolest motherfuckers alive.
Yeah. For sure.
You know,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
look at what we do. Like look what we're doing right now. This is insane. You know,
Yeah.
and people
Yeah,
will
you're-
watch this for some
You
reason.
were talking about like
It's
the
insane.
expense on the like a bass fisherman. I was sitting there last week when Ryan was on, like, and I was like, just where he was saying, you know, he was traveling to and all that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
man, that would be so awesome. But like me, just for the logistics to do that, you know, like if there's a tournament within 20 miles of me, I could probably hit that, you know, but
Yep.
to just like call off work for a week and go pre-fish, you know, a huge body of water that I've never been
Yeah.
on. And then, you
In
know, and
Florida.
then, yeah, in Florida, you know, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it is that whole aspect of it is just wild, where you can't dabble in that. If you're gonna do it, you do it.
Yeah.
You know, there's
I don't
no
know
playing in it.
what his regular job is, but
Yeah.
you know, and I'll tell you this. It's funny you talk about Nye, because Nye's the man. He's such a good kid, but you know, there's a part in that, not comparing any of us, and especially not comparing myself to what he does, but there is a part of me that has like a little bit of chip on my shoulder when I watch these guys, and not Nye again, but like I was talking to Bobby about this earlier today, actually. You take it for granted, like Ryan Nye, whether he would never want this to even be said, he's one of the best bass fishermen in the world. Like consistently every single year, there's names nobody, like people are not even close to him in what he puts up.
Mhm.
He's consistently in like top 10 of the biggest bass tournaments in the country, which I mean, that's an American thing mostly. Like you put it up there. He's one of the best in the world. And when I look at some of these names up there, and there's a lot of other names, especially like New England guys that are on these lists, and I'm like, well, I've competed against this person, I compete against this person. Like, man, I wish I could have the crack and opportunity at these guys, because like, personally, like I bass fished tournaments for 2 years, and I was like, I could do that, but like you said, that's a full-time gig, and that was just locally, Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut. That's just locally, like how many times I would have to break down and pre-fish and stuff like that. I couldn't work a regular job like that and do that year round. But like, it's something to be said about that. That is an exhausting and mentally exhausting, physically exhausting, financially exhausting career path. And I don't know if he's living off of it, but it's still pretty cool, you know, being friends and knowing a guy who's like, he's better than 99% of the people in the world. I'm willing to say that because I've seen the people he's going against. I fished against a lot of them, or not a lot of them, a few of them, and yeah, he's the real deal. And it's like,
I mean, even like
he's
a
going
few
out to
years
Florida
back,
a week
when,
early.
a few years back when I can't remember what that kayak fishing. It's not a thing anymore. Where they were like live streaming on your phones and shit while they were in the
AFL?
tournament. Yeah. When
The
Chags,
teams?
when Chags was here local to me, you know, 15, 20 minutes away.
Mhm,
Dude,
mhm, mhm.
that there was, I mean, not only did I know him personally and, through Hookset and all that, but to have him, to know where he's from and to have him 15, 20 minutes away from me, to where I packed Rodney up that afternoon. I was on the phone with him like, hey, where are you guys finishing at? Where are you at? And to have my kid with me who hadn't ever met him personally, just heard me talk about him, and to be able to go watch all those guys come off the water, that was huge for him. We come back to the core memory thing. That's a huge thing for him to not only see that, he got to witness a fishing tournament, but there was also a teammate of ours, with Chags there, and seeing him get off and have those Hookset Hoodlums, fishing jersey on, and, Rodney's got his hoodie on and all that, that was awesome for him.
Yeah, that was cool. KFL was cool in theory. It was too much, I think, for them to be able to do. But also Hookset and Shags wasn't even with the Renegades. Was Connecticut's team. But you got to think, like, if that ever took off, that was like, oh damn, we were landed the premier sponsor of the first Connecticut pro bass fishing team ever. And again, I think that they were way above what they were what they wanted to do. But it was so cool in theory. And like when I was talking about his little team tournaments coming up with two-man tournaments, I joked about it with like me and Drew, but I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know. There's gonna be a day when I jump back full force and like something like that. Like Drew, I was joking about me and you, but I'm like, man, hey, let it be cocky or whatever. But good luck going against us. That's how I feel, and I feel like it's how you gotta feel if you're competing. In anything, that's how you gotta feel. So, that's just how it is. But yeah, man, I agree. I think. And I used to say this all the time, even after, I left the business portion of Hookset. And I used to say to these guys, to Ken and Drew, I'm like, no matter whatever happens with all of this, and I've said it so many times now, it's like a dead horse, but I'm like, we did this. This is something that can never be taken away. This Hookset Hoodlums thing, it's something so awesome and it's so cool. And if it ended right now, it's like, talk about core memories. Like, I mean, we're like, we're all grown men, adults. We have no business doing this, but we're still doing it. Like it says a lot about, like, we talk about the purpose of this episode is like how we got into the outdoors, but like those memories and those things you did, run around in the woods, going fishing with your uncle, doing it, like it brought us to where we are today. And the internet can still be used for some good. It might be scaring us as parents, but it also brought all of us together from different walks of life. I think it's very cool. That I have no idea what's going on in the world right now, but I do know that, Rodney Jr. brought a Nerf gun to his rabbit hunt because I don't give a shit about what the news is telling me. This is what I care about. Like, once I phased all that other shit out and realized like this is real life, I'm good with it. I love it.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
But all right, we're gonna call it. I know Kenny, a couple people got a heart out. I know some people have to work, believe it or not. Not I.
Thanks, Steve, for coming.
Yeah.
Scuba, I feel bad. Like, I feel like we rag on him. I'll tell you, he's just got to figure this out. Like, I love Scuba. That's my guy.
He just has to figure it out. That's it.
Go ahead. Let's see it. Oh,
you're missing the great white shark.
I think we, as entertainment value, we got us three that launched this thing. We got Rodney and Scuba. Or every single episode, I send Rodney and Scuba the link because that's the way we do it. That's the show. And I just feel like not one time has Scuba been able to get it together. And I love the guy. And it's not a jab. It's not a shot.
The grocery store, the car ride, the shop, his living room, and now he's grilling in the backyard with no lights. Get it together, Billy. You want to be part of it, get it together.
And you know what? Seriously. Next week, I'm sending him the link again because I that's my guy. I love Scuba. That's my guy. That's all of our guys.
I love when he comes. You're like, oh, Steve's here. I'm like, where's he going to be today? Like, where's
yeah. At this point, if he showed up in a studio with a new laptop, I might be fired up about it.
And that's the thing, though. He's sitting in his garage with Fiero behind him, and he's got all this podcast equipment. It's still not working.
Oh God, I love it, guys. Thank you so much. Hooksethoodlums.com. Hookset Hoodlums on TikTok and Hookset Hoodlums on Instagram. Are we talking about a launch yet or no?
It's coming very soon. I've been working hard. I got a whole factory.
This is going to come out. I'm going to throw this out Sunday night at 7 p.m. So very shortly after that, we'll look for the first 2026 release. No spoilers. I mean, you can see I do have this hat I've been wearing. I call this the
too.
lucky cap with the green and gold because I'm feeling it. But hopefully, hey, it's a good St. Patrick's Day hat. Anyway, launch coming. We got a couple new cool things, and those rags are not used, right? That you.
They're
Not
more.
all of them.
They're more.
Not all.
Oh, you got more money. You could get one that Andrew wiped his beard with. Gentlemen, you guys are the best. All right, hooks@hoodlums.com. Later, boys.
All right, boys.
Hold on.